I left Mestia this morning. This is my second night in the same hostel. I left very early. They were probably asleep, so I didn't get a chance to say goodbye. Then I dared to go to the center of the city, where I had seen a restaurant that served lunch. I ate with a knife and fork, a salad, an omelette. They brought some kind of cake with honey. There were dried fruits. A piece of this gave me energy for almost the whole day. Very well nourished and prepared. I started the route again towards Usghuli. Arriving in Usghuli, I had the thorn in my side that I could not fly the drone yesterday. So I decided to return to the Glacier, to Shkhara. The sun was shining beautifully, and this time, when I got there, I was able to fly the drone. It was early afternoon. It was warm and sunny enough to enjoy everything in that area, in the middle of the Caucasus, not far from the Russian border. It was spectacular. I left Mestia in the morning. This was the second night I stayed in the same hotel, and I made my way back to Ushguli. This time I went towards Shkhara Galcier, Zagari Pass, Tsana, Luji, Lenteki, Zagari, Zeda Shavra, Conchiori, Nicorsminda, and it was very difficult to keep track. So I decided to stop here and put up the tent. Yesterday I left Ushguli and turned around to go to Latpari via the pass, but it was closed due to snow and landslides, so turned around and went back to Mestia. Today I found an alternative route, and it will be another pass further north, Zagari, the Zagari Pass. Zagari Pass. So I had to go back to Ushguli, go back to enjoy this whole area and push through to get a little bit further north to Zagari Pass. It was very good because the route is very beautiful. At the beginning it is very easy. It is a wide stone road without any problem, but then there was an area of mud and water. I was able to pass with the quad without any problems, but I met some Germans who were driving a car and a 4x4 truck through the mud. I had met them before on the Glacier at the stop, and now they were stuck in the mud. I stopped to see if there was anything I could do to help them, but there was little I could do except encourage them. The truck had gotten stuck up ahead and was waiting for the 4x4. The car skidded on the muddy climb and fell over. I was able to avoid the muddy area and continue the route, which was impressive, spectacular. Until, once past the area, there was a mandatory stop because the truck had overturned its load, some very large iron pipes. They stopped me for quite a while until they let us pass. A little setback. I was stopped here for a while because of a landslide. They had some pipes here that were probably used to bring water down from a mountain to the river, and loaded them with the man truck. The last one came off, and because the truck driver had not connected all the pipes properly, they collapsed. They're all lying down, so if they have to pick them up one by one, they can keep me here for maybe a couple of hours. Because this last one, they told me they'd only be 10 minutes, and the 15-minute boss was still on the floor, and that's when they all laid down. And the thing is, now I asked the tow truck driver, who is very Ford, if he could come next door. A bug in the fuselage, a guy in the fuselage that was bothering me. I asked him to let me pass next door, but it's complicated. I have to convince him of something better. He's Turkish and says he's been a truck driver here for 7 years. We talked about Turkey, that he's been working as a truck driver for 12 days and that it's a drag. He speaks English very well, so it could be that he knows English and would let me pass. But now I see he's loading the pipes lying down, so maybe he will last a little longer. Patience, patience. And while I'm waiting for all these pipes, it turns out that this tire has a nail hanging on it. It's pretty bald, huh? You can't get out, huh? Look, it's moved. But for now, you stay here. And down the road, when I find an inflator, I'm gonna fix you up and I'm gonna put a rubber tube on you and go on. The tires are so well fixed, not even with the nail. I didn't notice anything, no air loss or anything. Brutal, these tires. This is the best I could get for this trip. Brutal. A little further down, I was on a country road with very little traffic, practically none, but there were lots of cows everywhere. House that if you looked at the ground, you could see that they were living on the side of the road. Well, further down, I found an abandoned house. In front of the house, in the garden, there was a statue of probably the most famous Georgian in the world, Joseph Stalin, the dictator who ruled and died in the Soviet Union from 1924 to 1953. Stalin was born in Georgia and spoke both Georgian and Russian. When he ruled and gave a speech to impose harshness, he emphasized his Georgian accent to instill terror. Probably in this abandoned house lived what the Spanish television would call a nostalgic. This house of the nostalgic of the past is very close to Luji, where the route should have ended yesterday, but since the Zagari Pass was closed, I had to return to Ushguli, continue to the Zagari Passes, and go around many times until I came back here, where I am now. So now I am following the route that the navigator has marked for me. And let's start heading south. My goodness, the storm that got me, I can still feel it. But I do not take off my raincoat. I go all green because nobody goes to this place. Well, if the rain lets me, it fits there. How beautiful, huh? How beautiful, how beautiful, how nice. But there's a big storm over there. So if I can help it, I'll take the left side of the lake. Now I'm looking at the route. It's beautiful. I'm doing a lot of miles and I feel like I have a lot of energy to keep going until it gets dark. Let's keep going. I already had about 2 hours of mud and rain. The last hour was very difficult to follow because the gravel was not clear. The track disappeared with high grass and areas difficult to access. It is obvious that no one has been on this track for a long time. It is in bad condition. It was very difficult to follow the track. In many moments I got lost and had to turn back. I had to search through all this high grass until I came to a stream that was not very wide, but it was full of water and the water was murky and you could not see the bottom. There was maybe an hour of light left, but between the fact that I didn't really know if this was the right area, if I had to follow this path, and that the river was murky, I decided to stop. I tried to cross it, but when I saw that it was not wise, not because of the difficulty of the river, but because it was cloudy and I could not see what was underneath, I decided to stop. I dreamed it was 6 o'clock in the evening. I had the phone under the bell so it wouldn't get wet, and the navigator was dead. Now, I don't know if it is this way or down. If it is this way, I would have to go by on foot first to know where I have the rocks. Because if there is some hole fatter than the account, it could overturn the quad. But I know that later, if it's really this way, I'll have to watch out for this hole the river has made up ahead here. The road has disappeared, but I don't know if it's that way, because the navigator has no battery. I'm more or less in a dry area. It's thundering, so scary, 6 o'clock at night, and I don't know where to go, boss, because the navigator is dead. It's an area full of water, but at least there's no water there, because it's more downhill. All this is water. It's getting dark, and the thunder doesn't stop. This is the last part of the trail. The rain has given me a break, so I take the opportunity to set up the tent because there is very little light left. It is still thundering, but now the rain has stopped. So I was able to set up the tent without rain. While I'm looking at the river, I'll wear it in the morning. Maybe I'll go without pants and I'll be able to go barefoot, so I'll keep my shoes dry. The pie set. Here's a dry bag, and that's it. Now we put the mattress and the sleeping bag. And I'm going to put the electronics bag in there so it doesn't get wet. I'm going to go through all the electronics. Too bad I can't charge them. Luckily I have the drone batteries, so I can charge everything I need, like the phone and the tablet. See you tomorrow. What a beautiful day, what a beautiful night. Everything is ready. The inflatable mattress is ready, but the sleeping bag is a little wet because water got into the backpack. The backpack is ready. Now I will do the batteries and I have dinner. Pants here and quad there, front line with a view. Fabulous. What more could you want? It's already starting to rain. The ideal plan would be for it to stop raining by the time we leave tomorrow morning, because having to pack and load all this stuff in the rain doesn't sound too good. I still have one potato roll left that I bought in Turkey from Mr. Osman Usta at the donor market. There was some hibiscus flower down here. I pulled it out because it was green, and Northern Bonito tuna on top. This is my dinner. Well, I've had my supper. I made up the bed. Sleeping bag, a backpack here. I packed the suitcase for tomorrow to change quickly and leave. I also took the opportunity to empty the files. The drone, all the external hard drives, the tablet with the SIM to charge it, the keyboard, the 360 camera, and the backpack with all the stuff. Well, almost all ready to go to sleep. Good night.